everybody and welcome to One Player. Today, Ascension Realms Unraveled. We brought the board, we brought the cards, the gems managed to find their way into my bag as well. We've got everything we need to play this standalone expansion. We don't need the base game, we've got a whole new set of mystics and heavy infantry, we've got the cultist over here waiting to be defeated, and we've got our starting deck of 10 and my starting hand of 5 cards to play with. We've set out our row. I covered a lot of the rules in my original Ascension playthrough, which I'll link somewhere up here. So I won't do that right away, but as we go through, I'll kind of try to cover, especially some of the new stuff that's come in with this expansion, and of course, like just kind of go over some of the basics too. So here we go. We've got 4 apprentices and 1 militia. That's going to give us runes and battle points for which we can either purchase, acquire, or destroy monsters, heroes, and constructs in the center row. Our friend the AI over the other side of the table is going to just be picking up the 2 rightmost cards every turn. So these are the 2 cards they're going to get unless we pick them up first. And then every time we move something from the center row, everything's going to slide over to the right, kind of getting closer and closer to them picking it up. So we've got 4 runes, which isn't a bad start. This says we can banish a card in our hand. We can acquire a hero with victory points one more than the banished card and put it in our hand. That's interesting. I'm probably not going to be banishing a lot of heroes from my hand, to be honest. The Forgotten Scripture. Let's do it. The Forgotten Scripture, this is one of the new transform cards. So if you've played 2 or more enlightened heroes this turn, we can transform this into the Mantra of True Sight. Now off to the side here, I've got all of the transformed cards. There are 2 versions of these that come in the game. There's either the double-sided ones where it would be on the back side of this. Because I'm not playing with sleeves, we can just set aside these kind of second deck of transform cards with the regular backs. And let's find out just what it transforms into, just so we know. Once per turn you can draw a card. I'd say that's worth it, and it's a good 4 victory points too, so that's pretty decent. Or I should say honor points is the right nomenclature for that. So we've got our apprentices out the way. We can't really do anything with 1 militia unless this card I pull is a 1 monster, which it is not. And then the AI's turn is as simple as that. Actually, I tell a lie. They gain 1 when they destroy a monster. They gain the victory point right away, or they gain the honor point right away, just as we do. So actually, I'm going to give them 1 honor from the honor pool over here, up in this top left, which you can probably just about see. I've set aside 50 honor, which is the amount appropriate for the solo game. And then we're going to count up their honor on their cards at the end, again, just like we do for ourselves. We do not pay attention to any of the flavor text or any of the instructions on the card, so it says you can banish a card in the center row. We don't deal with that. The AI does not make those decisions, and we don't have to make decisions for the AI. We just play. So, let's see. We've got exactly the same hand, obviously, because we've got 8 apprentices, and 2 militia in our starting deck. So what do we want to buy? Do we want to give this one a turn, although that will give the AI the chance to buy this, or it's not going to buy it, it's just going to acquire it, which has got 5 victory points on it, which I'm less keen on. We've got a lot of life bounds out here. Of course, we just bought a construct which does require us to play enlightened heroes. And I think this is one of the main differences, just before we kind of maybe get into this is one of the main differences about this expansion versus the base game, is that I think in the base game I'm more liable to just go after specific cards, or like find the card that I like the best and buy it. In this game, I feel like you're much more liable to stick to 1 or 2 factions because there's so much synergy and so much. Well, lots of the cards require you to have cards of the same faction to make them worth it or to make them worthwhile. So I think that's kind of an interesting twist. I'm going to buy the Druid's Wreath because it's honor points, and I think we're going to bind ourselves to the Lifebound faction. Again, we can't do anything with the militia, so that's a bit of a pain, but we can keep on playing. The AI is going to make another 1 victory point for the Foundation Borrower. I don't want this card in my deck, but I also don't want the AI to have it. And now that there's 3 Meccana constructs come out, and they're all, this has got 7 honor points on it, this has got 3, this has got 5. I don't really want to give those to my opponent. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to take another hand. All right, well, here's our Forgotten Scripture we can place down, so that stays there on the board. Let's see, so now we've got, this is rubbish, we've got 3 apprentices now and then 1 militia. You know what I might do is, I think I'm just going to buy this Disciple of Cetra. This again is another transform card, so if you've played another Lifebound, we can transform it into the Scion, and I think it actually gives us 2 runes and 2 honor points per turn, which is pretty good. So we'll put that in our discard, slide on this along, and then I'm not keen on him getting 8 victory points or 8 honor points this turn, but I think that's just going to happen. And with these last 2, I'm just going to go to the pool over here and buy a heavy infantry. So these are always options for us. The Mystic gives us 2 runes, it costs 3 to buy. The heavy infantry gives us 2 battle points, it costs us 2 to buy. And the cultist, if we can't defeat anyone else and we've got 2 battle points, we can defeat him as many times as we want per turn and get 1 honor point for it. This is a solid 8 points heading into the opponent's hand, which doesn't feel that great, but that is just what's going to happen. And I don't think we're going to be able to destroy this fellow either. Oh my gosh, there's 3 of them. Look at that. Bing, bing, bing. We've got 3 Sowers of Discontent. There is a lot of discontent happening right now. Again, oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got another construct that requires us to play Lifebounds. We've got 3 more apprentices and 1 combat. This isn't a great start. This is not uncommon for this game. Typically the AI kind of launches out in front, and then we kind of slowly catch up as our deck starts to get better and better. This though is a little unsettling. Do I want to even get into Meccana constructs, really? To be honest, I think the answer is no. Do I want to, though, buy a Mystic, or do I want to buy... We've got a lot of monsters out right now, but we also are kind of light on everything, so let's buy a Mystic. The Militia again goes to waste because we've only got 1 of them. That's a bit of a pain. And then we've got 2 honor points going to our opponent for a total of 4. And like I said, they're zooming away in front as far as the victory point totals go. Ooh, I like this one. This card I like. It allows us to acquire. It's much like the guy on the box on the base game. Essentially allows us to get something without paying it for it. So that's always good. We've got 2. I need 3 more cards, and let's hope there's something good. Okay, so we need 2 or more Lifebound heroes to play to make Druid's Wrath transform. We've got a lot of points, which is nice. So we've got 5 runes, 6 runes in fact, and 1 honor point. So let's gain an honor point. We're on the board, so 4 to 1. We've got 5, 6. Well, we don't have enough to prevent this from moving. He's going to get 11 points from this, which is that's a bit hefty. I'm not so happy about that. But if we've got 6, I think we'll go for this. That's 3, And then, oh my gosh, okay, let's buy some infantry, because we're going to need to start taking down some of these monsters, aren't we? So we're going to waste one of our runes, but to be honest, we've got to play to the board, right? Like, we have to play to the board. This is going to have our opponent gain 4, so I'm just going to swap out the red for one of him. These are worth 5, so he's on a solid 8-1 now. And I think I mentioned this in probably in the last video, but I just think the ease of the AI turn really, I don't know, it's just great. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to there's not any complicated rules to it. Literally just give them the cards, that's it. And it plays so quickly, it plays so smoothly. There's just something about it which, I don't know, I appreciate. Here we go. Finally, we've got some battle points that add up to something actually decent. So we've got 3. We're going to do, we're definitely going to get one of these, or one of these. This guy, I think, is a really cool thematic card. He's a Borderland Nihilist. You can transform him into the Mercenary and acquire him. And I think what that does is basically allows you to, yeah, he counts as any faction, which is pretty good because we're going to be concentrating on probably more than one. So, yeah, let's do I want to do that, or do I want to get some victory points? Because this wouldn't be a bad card to let our opponent get, because it is worth nothing. Also, a brilliant Big Lebowski reference on the card, which is pretty funny. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, we're going to do 3 to spend. We're going to discard this, essentially put it in the void. This is going to go into our discard pile, and then we've got 3. Oh my gosh, there's another monster. Okay, we've got 3 more runes to spend, which I kind of like this card. I'm maybe splitting myself a bit too thin by doing this, but I don't know. Let's see. I've had decent luck in my playthroughs by going for 2 with a splash of another, 2 factions with a splash of another faction. Let's just see if let's just see if it works. So I've spent 3 runes. I got 1 and 2. My phone just rang. We're about to do this, which is to give him or them 4 more honor points. Oh my gosh, he's just churning along. It's what happens. It's what happens. It's okay. We're not out of it by any means. 3. We need 2 more. We need 2. Yep, 2. All right. Oops. Okay, here we go. We've got some. Let's start. Let's begin, shall we? Now, we've got a Meccanic Construct that we can buy, but I'm not really that interested in it. I guess I could get another heavy infantry for 2 runes. Although, let's do this. We can defeat this fellow, can't we? So we've got 4 battle points. We'll defeat the Terrorizing Fiend. We'll gain 2 honor points, and we can draw 2 cards. So let's see what we get here. Okay, we really need some more faction heroes. We really, really do. Let's see what we pull here. Ah, that's nice. Okay, I think that's what we'll probably get then. So when we play this, we can draw a card. So let's do that as well. And now we've got 4 to spend. I think we pick up the Everbloom Click over here. That is 2 honor points and an extra honor point if we've got a multi-unite. Well, we've already got the construct, so we know that's always going to happen. So 3 honor points for playing a card, I think, is pretty decent. So let's pay 2 for that. And then it comes down to either a Workshop Gargoyle, which, again, I don't know if maybe that might be too thin. Might be too thin to play with all 4 factions. So why don't we just go for another heavy infantry? I don't know. Even if we just end up killing a bunch of cultists per turn, that's not the worst thing that can happen in the world. This Snapdragon Witch, It's fine, but and again, you know, I know we're like concentrating kind of loosely on, you know, green and blue, Lifebound and Enlightened, but if it's basically, it says if you have more victory points or more honor than any other player, draw an additional card. Well, that's probably never going to be the case, or at least not for a very long time. So I'm not too fussed by that. Oops, there goes my camera. All right. Here we go. So we've got 1 battle point, 2, 3 battle points, and what's that? 4 runes. I can discard, or I can banish a card in my discard pile. So let's do that. Let's get rid of an apprentice because they're useless. So let's get rid of him. We didn't play another void, so we can't transform this fellow. We've got 3 battle points, which isn't, well, it's enough to kill a cultist, but let's see if we can do something better. Okay, so this is good. I mean, I don't mind this card. We saw it earlier where it says we can banish a card in our hand and then acquire a card which is 1 honor point more, or worth 1 honor point more. That's decent. I think maybe I just want some like quick splashing heroes to buy, you know? Let's see if a monster comes up that we can defeat. Hopefully, it's a 6. That sucks. Okay, so we've got 3 battle points, which is enough to kill a cultist. We've got 1 more rune left over, which isn't enough to do anything. So we'll gain a cultist on a point. We're up to 4. That's, you know, it could be better. Could be better. This fellow is going to gain 3, so that is up to 15. 15 to our 4. Okay, it looks like we're kind of turning towards the void then, doesn't it? Because there's a lot of more void cards coming up, and I don't mind that really. Okay, here we go. Acquire a hero or a construct with cost 5 or less without paying its cost. Well, which one should we get? Probably... Probably this, right? Maybe this? If you control 2 or more constructs, gain 2 victory points? I mean, that's not bad, is it? We're always gonna have 2 constructs in our control now. Yeah, let's do that. And then we've got 3. Got 3 to spend, so I could either buy a Mystic, which I think I will do. I could buy the Spike Vixen, but she's right at the end. We'll be able to get her any time. We've got 2 to kill a cultist, and so let's pick up a Mystic for our 3 runes, and that will do just fine. I should have slid before I made a decision there, because I probably could have bought that instead, but that's fine. That's okay. Whatever. These two are going into our opponent's hand, or opponent's deck, or I don't know what you'd call it, a collection. We've got Animus of the Wild and a Disciple of Yuloth. Okay, that's another transform card. If you've played another Meccana hero this turn, transform it. I know that probably these 2 cards are like a little blurry just because I've got the wide angle thing on again, just to try and fit everything. I don't mind, like I didn't pack my tripod, so that's the only thing I didn't bring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'd really like to start getting some actual bonuses for some of these things. Come on. All right, we've got. Okay, well this is fine. Look, we've got 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6 battle points. That means we can down the Sower of Betrayal, and I think that's a decent idea. We're going to gain 3 honor and then an additional 2 honor for each hero of our chosen faction. Well, we'll choose the Void because that's the only one we've played. So that, what is that, 5? That's a total of 5, and that puts us up to 10, and that's within reaching distance, you know, that's not too bad. Now we've got 3 runes to spend, and I think what we'll probably do... Do we go with the Spike Vixen, or do we go with the Journeyman Outrider? Because one of them is going to go away this turn, isn't it? I could go with the Spike Vixen and this Disciple, but then I'm not really trying to splash into Meccana. Let's do this. Let's do this. We need to, I really would like to be able to transform this. So to do that, we need to play 2 or more Enlightened Heroes. And now at least we'll have, you know, we'll have a chance of having 2 or more in our hand. These go over here, and everything goes over here. A Sadistic Giant on the left here. 5 points, not bad. Let's see if we can slay him. See if we can bring him down. What have we got in our hand? Nothing that will help us slay him. Let's see. While this is in your hand, if you've played another Void, which we haven't, God, come on. You can banish a card in your discard pile. So I guess we'll do that again. Should we get rid of another Apprentice? Oh, we don't have. Oh, yeah, we do. Let's get rid of another Apprentice because. We're going to gain 1 battle point for that, which is useless because there's nothing else. We can acquire... Okay. Alright. I like both of these cards. So, although I think that we'll probably... Yeah, I think we'll probably go towards this one. So cost 5 or less without paying its cost. I think we'll go this, because this is an Enlightened Void rather than an Enlightened Meccana. This allows us to defeat a monster with battle points less than or equal to the cost of a construct you control. That's a bit of a mouthful. So essentially a monster with cost 4 or less, which is pretty decent. This one, though, when we defeat a monster, gets us to draw 2 cards. And I think we're probably getting to the point where we've got enough battle points in there where we'll probably start to be able to defeat most of the monsters that come up, I think. That's my thinking anyway. So this is a useless one. We can banish a card in the discard pile, which we just did. These 2 can now go to my discard. Let's swing these along and see what happens. It's another monster, so that bodes well if we've got some battle points in my deck here. And then we've got, what's this? If you control 2 or more constructs, we get 2 honor points, so I will take those happily. And then we've got 4 to spend, which I think will pick up this Animus of the Wild. Yeah, that is what we'll do. Wait, we didn't play... No, we didn't. We had one Enlightened, 1 Void, and 1 Lifebound hero that turn. So no two of neither of these. So these 2 are going to go to our opponent, and we'll slide these. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. So lots of monsters. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. At least I hope good. Not that good. Oh, come on. You aren't serious. We've got 3 battle points, which is not enough to kill any of the monsters in the row. God. And then we've got another Lifebound without any more Lifebounds. So we do have 4. We've got 4 runes and 1 honor. Let's get the honor first. Oh, this is a bit of a waste of a turn, I have a feeling. Do we pick up some more heavy infantry, I guess? Yeah, I think we probably do. Let's pick up some more heavy infantry, 2 of them, and we'll get a cultist for 1. Okay. Less enthralled about that turn than I thought I was going to be. So these 2 are going to go up here. This guy's going to get another 5, so he's actually back out ahead by some way. 2 Matrons of Discoveries together and a Death Dealer Noble, which we already have one of those in our deck, but to be honest, at this point I'm kind of like, I want to get more of the things. Okay, finally this guy comes in useful. So we can draw a card when we play him, so we'll do that. It's another apprentice, so that's not that great. But we will count him as a lifebound. What that means is that we've played 2 lifebound heroes this turn, which means we can transform this into the Verdant Crown. I don't think we actually looked at what this does. Once per turn, gain 2. All right, well that's pretty good. I'm going to put this in the void so we don't count it twice, so I don't get the 3 and the 4 in my final score. So we put it in the void. Verdant Crown. I think we can use this right away. So we'll gain 2 once per turn. There we go. Actually, we're coming down to quite near the end game. This is what's left of the honor. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 11 left. That's not too much. That's maybe a couple of monsters left. We're also gaining 3 more victory points for this because we've got gain 2 and then a multi-unite ability. So that's 3 more. So now we're down to 8 left. I have a feeling that we're not going to win this. And then we've got 3 battle points, which is so frustrating because our opponent's going to get both of these again. 3 battle points and 2 runes, which isn't enough to like even gamble on pulling something into the row. So if we've got 2 runes, I guess we can just buy another heavy infantry, like sure, and then kill another cultist. We haven't really got very lucky in terms of our draws, I think. So this is going to have the AI gain 6. And we're down to our last honor. So this is going to be the last turn, which kind of seems bonkers. That went by really quickly. Let's see what we've got here. Well, we need another hand, so let's hope for something good. We're going to shuffle everything and hopefully get something sweet. Maybe this guy would be really nice. Really nice. Just a nice round 5 honor points, just to you know, kind of round things off. 2, 3, 4. What's it going to be? Okay, all right. Okay, that is pretty decent. So we play this, we gain 2. That means we can actually transform this, which is in our hand. We can play another Void Hero, transform it into the Scion. So we'll transform it into the Scion, which is this one. And that's going to gain us oh, that's good. Yeah, okay. All right, I feel good about this. So this is going to go in the Void. This is going to gain us 3, and we can banish a card in our discard pile, which we don't really need to do. Well, actually, we don't have a discard pile, so never mind. So once per turn, we're going to gain 2 more victory points. So that's... Oh, you know what? That's why it's gone so quick. I left 2 clear crystals off the side of the board. So actually, we've got 3 left. Whoops. So we're going to gain 2 of those right now, which is fine. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 battle points, which we'll definitely spend 4 to get 5, right? I mean, why not? So that'll go there. And the rules state that we can earn more honor than is available essentially on our last turn. So I can just pull this from the reserve, if you will. So that we've got 2 battle points left, and we've got this, which allows us to acquire a card of 5 or less, which will probably just get the Cannon Templar, because that's got the most victory points, the most honor points on it. So we'll do that for free. Still got 2 battle points, and then We haven't played two Enlightened though, no, so we have not. So then we've got 3 of these, which I suppose again we'll just do the thing with the most. We'll just do the thing with the most points, shan't we? So we'll just get this. That's 3 points, 3 runes, and it gives us 2 victory points, or 2 honor. And then we'll defeat a cultist with our last 2 battle points. That'll give us the last. Oops. That'll give us the last honor in the game. Our opponent will take these 2 cards, and that is that. I'm not feeling all that confident, guys. I'm not feeling all that confident about our final score. Let's see what we've got. I'm going to add up and let's see. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, 26, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35, 38 in our cards. And then that's 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66. Okay, that's going on my hand because I can't remember things. So that's 66. I don't think that's a very good score. I'm pretty sure we've been beat. I'm almost positive we have. 2, 4. We don't count the monsters again. I just like to put them on, like, technically the monsters should go to the void, but then it's just a pain of having a massive stack of monsters to reshuffle. It's just easy to shuffle them if they're kind of like spread out a little bit. I don't know. Anyway, so our opponent, 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 16, goodness me, 17, 18, 19, oh my god, 23, 26, 29, 31. Oh, he's got every single big card. 38, 41. Oh, there's no way we've won. 46, 49, 51, 54. Oh, come on. 64, 74, 75, 80. Wow. Okay, so we've actually been pretty slaughtered. So 66 to 80. That's pretty bad. I'll say that in my last few playthroughs of this, I have won by about 10 points. So it's always been quite close, but this is the first time I've lost. 66 to 80. Good job, opponent, I suppose. I feel like we got a bit unlucky with, like, we had so many wasted cards, didn't we? We had so many wasted militia at the start, and then so many wasted, like, 1 here, 1 rune here, 1 battle point there, that we just were never able to really make things click. Maybe I went too broad. You know, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't focus enough, or maybe I was a bit too picky, and I should have picked up the cards. You know, maybe I didn't do enough to prevent these like bigger cards from getting into his hand. I mean, really, if we'd prevented, what's that, 14 ahead? So if we'd prevented this and what's the other? He got a 7, didn't he? Yeah, this. So that's 13 points right there. So that's 2 cards, which if we'd have been able to purchase, would have probably drawn as level. Well, that is going to be it from me. Final thoughts. I think this expansion is great. The transform cards add a lot of depth to it. I really like the factions. I think they're more, like I said, they're more focused. I'm excited to maybe shuffle this in with my base game. I'm not sure I'm going to do that just yet, but I'm not sure how, like, you know, this is the stack of cards we're left with. I think with the base game we'll be left with a stack of cards like this, and that'll be interesting because we might not get enough things to actually activate any of these abilities, you know? I don't know. Let me know what you think. What's your best result on Ascension Realms Unraveled? Have you been beaten before? Because I haven't been beaten before at this particular game, and I'm feeling a bit bummed out now. Don't forget to drop a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you want to see next on the, I was going to say table, but like I said, let me know what you want to see next on the hotel desk, and I will get it up over the next few days. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, get notified by my next video, and I will see you later.